shame.
No.
Yeah.
Arme
Poor
ek.
influencer.
Yes.
Yeah. So is that version,
The real version.
who is she?
Like
Yeah.
if people are like, where did you get your humor from?
Trauma. Love it.
But
it's cool. Hi everyone, welcome to Recovery Room. I am Jennis.
And I am JC, and today I'm super excited because I'm fangirling about our first guest. Our first guest, Jen.
It's our first guest.
Very excited.
What a good
Sami Hall.
Sami is amazing. She's not just not an influencer, she's an amazing author, she's an amazing person, and one of our favorite people on this planet.
And you know what makes her famous? The real side of her. Yes, we all have some sort of a persona, but she is real and talks about real stuff in a comedic way.
She says the stuff that all influencers are too scared to say.
Yes, and we love that about her.
So we're excited to hear what she says
It's
today.
not an unboxing, but it's Sami Hall.
So stay tuned. Here we go.
And Hill.
Phil, to be your first guest, I am going to tell myself that that is on purpose and not just because I was available.
No,
No, it's on purpose.
For people who don't know you, I think because they live in Kwakwa,
Yeah. Or a rock.
or a rock,
Because Kwakwa people are real people.
that don't. Yeah, it's not called Kwakwa anymore. Something weird. Yeah, like put down the baba, like put it on Java.
Put it on Java.
Okay, so if people don't know who you are, who are you?
This is the most difficult question. It's like job interviews when people tell me more about yourself. Suddenly I forget who I am.
Yes.
So that's always a difficult question to answer. But basically, I am a plot Macy who's always wanted to be an actress. I wanted to win an Oscar or whatnot.
Charlize.
Just, nicer to South Africa. I don't know. No shade. But then, real life happens and you're like, oh, I have to pay a bill. And then you become a salesperson that drives around and goes and tries to get people to buy websites. And you cry every day. And over lockdown, I was very bored and I needed a creative outlet. And I started doing TikTok videos and it just started from there. And now I'm a content creator and stand-up comedian. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud.
Well, you are now Sami Hall.
Yeah.
I'm now Sami Hall. Do you know how the name Sami Hall came about? I don't think I spoke about it in my book, I think.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, talk about your book.
I have a book.
Yeah, great.
What's your book about?
Great joke. Yeah, that's the end of it.
I haven't
I have
read
a
it.
book, buy it.
Yeah.
I'm such a great salesperson.
Yes, very good.
Maybe the
No.
websites didn't work.
No wonder I got fired. It's basically, the book is called Memoirs of a Clumsy Potato. I don't have it here because I don't think ahead. And it's just basically stories about my life and little rants because I love to rant. There's nothing better than finding fault with everybody else. The problems in the world is everyone else's problem. I am perfect, apparently. But as you'll see in my book now, I'm not very clumsy. Things happen to me that I'm like, does this happen to other people?
And what was your answer usually?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I've spoken to many people and no one I know has ever been chased by a goose.
I have.
I love that.
But I remember when I read the book, I said to her, there's a lot of correlations. I can see correlations because I also thought being chased by a
goose.
chosen.
You are
Well,
chosen
that's
by
a-
the goose.
That's
Chased
a good
by
way
a
to think
goose
about
and then gebyt. Hy het my geknyp.
Yeah. So,
You have a lot of stories in that book,
A lot.
and you share quite a lot on social media, which gave you the fame, if I can call it that, in TikTok. But what was that moment where you went, oh, fuck?
well, it was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial that I very professionally reported on
Yeah.
by giving Amber Heard lessons on how to cry. Because and then it was in the newspaper, me teaching her how to cry,
Yeah.
and there was like a newspaper in the UK. It was like TikToker teaches Amber Heard how to cry, and I was like, what? So that was kind of where the following grew. And during that time, I was like, after this trial, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to be irrelevant. I have nothing else to talk
Yeah.
about or what's going to happen. Even though I made content before that, but it never really took off. And from there, honestly, it's just been winging it.
Good.
Yeah.
So
How do you try to keep your content relevant, or does it just happen?
I feel like I don't plan,
Yeah.
although they say you should, and you should have posting dates and you should post the same time, all that sort of thing. But that doesn't work for me. Literally, I will have an idea in my head and I'll pick up my phone, I'll record it and
Yeah.
post it. That's kind of my
Yeah.
process. But it does become difficult during times when you don't have ideas.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it starts getting scary. Like,
think
oh,
that's
is
the
that all
biggest
I
thing,
have to
yeah.
give? Mm,
I think what is so cool about your content as well is that, and we said this with the intro, is that you say the things that we all think but are too scared to say.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as number one famous and number two as funny?
I do not see myself as famous. I feel like even when I speak about, if I want to make a post to say thank you to my followers or
Mhm.
whatever, that feels so icky to me.
Yeah.
Thank you to my followers. Like follow me.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
But I obviously, like, if I go to Checkers and a tanny comes up to me and hugs me and wants to take a photo, my first thought is always, why?
Do you
And then I
forget?
remember, oh, probably from
Okay.
TikTok.
Right.
Or sometimes someone would be staring at me and I'd be like, is there spinach in my teeth?
Yeah.
I don't even eat spinach. What's going on? And then I always think of, imagine you're at like a grocery store and someone's staring at you and you go, yes, it is me. You want to take a photo? And they're like, no, you have spinach in your teeth.
I love that, but that's what I like about you. It comes through in your content as well, is that you're real.
It is real.
It is real. And that's why it's so relevant, which I'm forcing this conversation to, is the fuck ups. Is there a fuck up you want to share with us and how we can navigate to go fixing it? I think that's
How
kind
much
of what
time
I,
do you have?
No,
So
we
I
have the whole day.
I remember in your book as well, because you gave me a copy when we just met, and there were a lot of fuck ups that took place over that entire time. But how you learn from it the entire time. So, what is the biggest? Do you think all fuck ups are fuck ups, or do you think it's something or an opportunity for you to grow into something else?
Yeah, that's
I don't think anything is not an opportunity to grow
Yeah.
from it. And even things that, because fuck up kind of feels like it's something you did wrong,
Yeah.
but sometimes fuck up means life is just fucking you up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's also going to happen. And I think trying to find too much meaning in it, like why me, or
Yeah.
what did I do wrong, or
Yeah.
did I bring this on myself, or that type of thing. It's just for me, knowing that life is unfair,
Yeah.
plain and simple, that makes you go on.
Mm.
You just like, I don't think you should suppress the feelings. You
Yeah.
shouldn't, like I always say, take a day and sit with it and cry and feel sorry for yourself. That's fine, but don't stay in that.
Okay.
But I think everything, like the resilience I have, is definitely from my dad.
Yeah.
So he's just like, he's been through a lot, but he always just gets up and keeps going. And that was kind of what he taught me.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, okay. Walk it off.
Mm.
Rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
Like She's the Man movie. Rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the question.
No.
What is the fuck up? Let's start there.
What was the moment in your life where you thought, oh, this is not gonna, nothing's
Yeah,
gonna happen
that's-
now?
Well, this is a fuck up.
I would say when I worked at Jacaranda, that
Yeah.
was kind of my first job that gave me the impression that I was going to make it in my dreams. And I was young, I was 19 years old. And I really enjoyed it, but I was young. I worked for Darren Scott. He was the one who gave me Sami Hall nickname, by the way. And he was he was very strict with his employees. Like, he didn't take shit. And he was like, he wanted it this way. But then he was also very like guiding, trying to, so it was a great experience, but I was young and I always made mistakes. And
What did you do there? I didn't know.
I was a blogger. And this is the funny part. I was behind the scenes, like where the producers sit.
Yeah.
And I had to screen calls. and I had to give things to Darren to read out, ad reads, that sort of thing. And then afterwards, I would do the blog of what happened on the show. So me and Darren shared a computer. If I move the mouse, his mouse moves. He can't use the computer.
I love it when you share a mouse.
Yeah, he didn't, because he's on air and he's trying to use his computer, and then I'm busy with something. And a couple of times, if you go back to the archives, you can hear him on air saying, "Sammy, leave my mouse." And I'm like, oh, sorry. So I think the fact that I didn't think that I might have ADHD back then, I'm surprised by. But I think back to that and the opportunities that I could have had if I thought ahead better. Because I worked 5 a.m. in the morning till 10 a.m. in the morning. So that would have been the perfect opportunity to build something on the side, because I had lots of time. But I was just like, ooh, look at it. But now looking back, I've always said, even though I wanted to be in the entertainment industry back then, now I'm glad that it only happened in my 30s. Because back then, I don't think I could have handled it. I think if it happens for you too young, you become an asshole.
And there's a couple of them out there.
Quite a few,
Let's be honest.
Unfortunately. Some people are born with assholery in their systems.
I love that word. I'm going to use it.
Assholery.
Assholery.
If my trademark lawyer is watching this, let's trademark that one.
We'll make it
That's a new shirt for you.
Assholery.
Assholery. The gay community is going to jump on it.
Assholery.
I aim to please.
Well,
and you're glad that it happened in your 30s and not in your
sure.
20s. Okay.
For sure. Even though now it's still difficult, there is, and it's difficult to talk about, because always when you see content creators or influencers, that's a stupid word, but that's what it's called. But if you see them opening up about their struggles, it's kind of like, oh, shame. Poor influencer.
Yes.
And I get that, because the job we do, is it a job?
Yes.
Sometimes,
It is a job. You put work in, so it's a job.
No, for sure. But I mean, it is a very privileged place to be able to do that for a living. Although in South Africa, we don't make Kardashian money.
No,
not at all.
Or use Michaela money or whatever.
No.
But there is challenges to it in terms of, especially for me, I do comedy content. So my role, and it's something that I enjoy doing, is to make people laugh, to make people forget about everything going on in the world. But then when I am going through something in my personal life, or I'm just not feeling it, or like recently lots of health concerns and stuff, then I just don't feel like I have anything to say. And my audience mostly is so supportive. They're so sweet. I call it a community, which sounds wishy-washy, but it really is. And they're always like, Sammy, take time for yourself. Look after yourself. Don't burn out. They're very sweet. But that's unfortunately not how the algorithm works. Like, you have to stay relevant. And then there's always these fears, like, I don't know if you guys can, I can't think of a single influencer or content creator who made that a long-term career.
I think the difference for me personally is it's something that a theatre producer said to JC years back. He said that if you can make people laugh, you deserve their tears. Basically what that means is, if you are honest in your content and you can make all your audience laugh, if you're going to start sharing the hard side or the dark side of who you are and go through that emotions, they will still follow you, and that ensures longevity. I think if you stick to the same, it sounds horrible to say this, but if you stick to the same horse, it becomes the same thing the whole time. So when you go through those patches and everything, how do you fix it?
Well, first of all, from the beginning of like content creation, I've always been open about all the struggles. I would always be open about that. But at the end of the day, you don't want to let that become your personality.
No, it's just a glimpse of who you are.
I don't always want to be complaining or whatever. In terms of fixing it, I don't know. I always tell myself, we go through seasons. I've had times when I felt down before, or things were just going wrong, and then at some point it ended. So But when you're in it, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like you have to do something to fix it. But I think that is where, and that's something I'm not always good at, but you need to just not try to control everything. You can't control everything. So you should just do what you can. But I don't really have the answers of how to, especially for content creators, if you're not feeling it. For me, I don't want to fake anything.
No.
I'm very authentic in my content. That is not meaning that that's the whole me. That's always something, because I have lots of interests and I'm actually a serious person. I'm serious about my content, even though it's not serious content. But I'm very authentic, so I don't like to pretend. So if I don't feel like posting, I don't post. But that can also, like, you can't not post for weeks on
Because
end.
with influencers, I think it's tough because the audience obviously feels that they have access to you.
Yeah.
And that consistency of access, it's something that not just ensures longevity in your career, it also makes that bond with your community stronger. Even if you don't feel like posting it. And also just to say that you don't feel like posting it, but this is where you are. Sometimes you do need that glimpse of things. And we've seen in our careers how that ensures a very long career with influencers itself. But you're not necessarily just the influencer, you're Sami Hall, so you're a personality.
Yeah.
That's a big difference as well.
Yeah, and that made you, like I said when I introduced you, she's authentic.
Yeah.
And that's why people come back to you. And I think if you keep that, it'll always be that, even though it's the hard ones or the laugh ones or the serious ones, because sometimes your comedy is quite serious. I can,
and complaining.
yeah, but
Ranty.
you speak on behalf of people
All of us,
who
yeah.
won't say that out loud, and I think that's what we appreciate about it. And I think that's part of fixing it, is be authentic, be yourself.
I think a cool thing about you as well is that if anything happens, I made a joke about the Premier of Gauteng, but if something like that happens, like, I want to hear your take on it. And I think that's what people are expecting from you, is to hear your take on things that they don't have the words to say. So would you say in essence that you're fixing it through your entire life is just the fact that you've been there before, so you can stand up and you can move forward?
Yeah.
Is that your
I think
fix?
Yes. And honestly, not trying too much to fix everything.
Yeah.
Some things you might see as broken. I've seen many times in my life, and you'll see that through my book. Something would happen that's objectively not good. It's a bad thing that happened to you. But then years down the line, you see how that happened for a reason, which also sounds so cliche, but it really is. And everything, you learn from it.
Yeah.
So if and I'm saying, like, don't try to always fix everything,
Okay.
which is not, I'm preaching to myself, because I always try to fix everything. I want to be in control of everything. But sometimes I think I'm very philosophical person. I think of everything in terms of, what does this mean? What's the psychology behind this? How does this work? But sometimes I think we think too much.
We do think too much.
We overthink stuff and we try to get a solution, but sometimes there's no fucking solution. It just is what it is, and it's going to play out. And yes, it's just a hard lesson to learn for your next step to take.
Yes, and in terms of authenticity, I think that can also become kind of a prison, because authenticity doesn't mean you can't grow.
Yeah.
And I think someone who is very, like, this is my thoughts, this is what I think, this is my opinions, this is my values, and they are set in that and not willing to pivot, I don't think that's good.
No.
I think being willing to have an opinion and hear someone else's side of it and pivot and grow is part of being authentic.
Yeah.
So sometimes people would, feel a certain way or about something silly, like, I don't like tomatoes, and then a couple of years ahead you eat something with tomato and people are like, you
said,
you liar.
oh, I don't eat tomatoes, I think it's gross.
He's been lying to me for 15 years about tomatoes. That's why I'm pointing to him.
What did you lie about? Did you tell him
He
you
said
lied?
he's
No.
allergic.
So no. Hold on. So I don't eat tomatoes, and if I say that in a restaurant that please don't give me tomatoes, I don't like it, they don't take me seriously. So I just told him I'm allergic.
Yeah. And he stuck to it.
And now I'm actually allergic to tomatoes.
Yeah, it's better
not.
because on the ordering, I'm not going to say names, but on the ordering app where people deliver food to you,
Yeah.
there's most allergy
Yes.
exclusions.
They ignore
what.
you.
I put tomato. My burger comes with a tomato.
Oh no, you
and
could
I'm like,
die.
what if I
So-
was allergic?
No. So what I then do is, if they put a tomato on my burger, I complain heavily and say, I will die if I
Yeah.
eat this.
That is
No,
one
but
of my
There's
things
a-
that I need
There's
to
a
work
difference
on.
between complaining and standing up for yourself.
Exactly.
No, for sure. I'm not good at standing up for myself. Unless it's on the internet and it's
Mhm.
strangers.
Yeah.
Then I'm good at it.
Okay.
Then
wanna-
I can reply and I'll be like, off you fuck.
So there's two things I want to ask you. The one thing is, obviously now people are going to hear this podcast and they honestly believe in their minds that you cannot speak English.
Mm.
So is that version,
The real version.
who is she?
I don't know myself at this point in terms of accent. Because obviously I have an Afrikaans accent. I am
Yeah.
Afrikaans. But when I was in school, I used to do the very Afrikaans accent as a joke to make the kids laugh.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, creative people, I feel like we kind of want validation from
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's something we don't like being like this.
Yeah.
We do want validation from people. And
We aim to please.
Exactly.
And we feed off that pleasing.
we just want to hear that we are
because
lovely.
the dark past fucked us up so badly that we want to make you laugh now.
Exactly.
Nothing like a good trauma for good comedy.
That's the only way. Like
Yeah.
if people are like, where did you get your humor from?
Trauma. Love it.
Done.
It's cool. It's actually, but it's true.
But in school, I used to do the accent to make people laugh. So when I started, at the beginning, my content was in Afrikaans. And
Yeah.
then during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, I did it in
moved to-
English. And I did it with a bit of an exaggerated accent.
And that stuck.
And now when a video pops up that was from a couple of years ago, then the accent was much heavier than it is now.
Yeah, it's transitioned now.
It has, yeah.
And I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay.
I can't remember. I don't know I just talk.
Yeah. Do people expect you to talk like that every time you talk to them and then this beautiful English comes out and they're like,
It's beautiful English.
Yes.
it's so beautiful to my ears.
To your ears.
I speak
Because
delicious.
we can all talk. We can do the podcast. Like
Yeah.
It's like when I go to England, I said, I'm going to a foreign country that speaks a foreign language. And people are like, it's English. I'm like, that's foreign.
It's
Yeah,
foreign.
because it's foreign.
That's
Yes.
foreign. Sometimes the worst is when I meet people and I just speak normally and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you really sound like that. And then I was like, I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying.
You
I
go like,
wasn't trying to.
yay. Listen, I want to ask you something, question. Like, if you can go back to the Sami before the fame and everything stepped in, what would you say to her?
That sounds like work.
Yeah. Do the work, Sami. Do the work.
That sounds like
Go back to that 19-year-old sitting in the studio. What would you have told her in her ear when
If
she
you can
was
speak to her
sitting there?
now.
It's going to be a fuck up, but you're going to love it.
I would kind of tell her to stop caring so much what people think
Yeah.
and to make smarter decisions.
Yeah.
Because ever since I was a kid, even though I had the dreams of becoming an actress, look, I wanted to be everything.
Mm.
Actress is the one that was always there. But with that, I was going to be a singer. I was going to be an archaeologist in
singer?
my spare time. I love archaeology. It's a
Wowee.
weird hobby. Not a hobby, but something
Interest,
I'm
yeah.
interested in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be an editor of a magazine. And then I was going to be a guitar player. And I just wanted to be everything and under the sun. But I think the thing that I was interested in is being an entrepreneur.
Oh.
So if I can go back, I would tell her to just spend more time learning about business and start something earlier. But then at the same time, you don't know what would change
Yeah.
if I go back and I start something then. It
'Cause-
might have not gone the same way as it
Yeah.
did
So,
now.
because the fuck ups became part of your journey.
Yeah.
Yes, and the my content is due to my experience, things
Yeah.
I've went through. So if I was if I was 19 years old making content, what would I say?
Yeah, true.
Even though I
Because there's
did
no
have-
life experience.
Although I did have a lot of life experience through like childhood experiences,
Yeah.
but I don't know how I would convey that
Yeah.
back then.
That's actually it's a clever answer.
It is a good
It's clever
answer because We all
Thank
go
you.
back and say, what would you do differently? And say, I'll
But
tell
I've
myself it'll
never-
be fine. But
I've never thought how that would change my trajectory from that moment.
yes,
Butterfly effect and whatnot.
Yes, exactly. I've never actually
Yeah.
thought of that.
So
So I would,
trajectory.
I think maybe just to go back to your younger version, say, keep what you're doing, just keep on doing what you're doing, and just don't take everything so seriously. That's enough.
No.
But again, then
But
if you do
then-
it seriously, you don't, then you won't go through the experience.
Well, I'm going to cock in my pants if I see an older version of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
going to go, that I
Sammy
age
would
like
have
that.
been like,
Yeah, that's not who I
So
am.
if you can look into your camera and you can say one sentence and you go, the fix is, what would you say?
yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah.
For me, the fix is, and it's different for everybody, but for me, it is not to just think of yourself, because sometimes when you go through difficult times, you tend to, why me? This is unfair. What? It's a type of like narcissism. It's like me. Sometimes I think we should just look at our faith and at something bigger than us, our community. In this age where everything, I sound like a Oma, but
Not at all.
yeah, there's children of today.
I say that daily to
I
Jen.
say that literally every
In
day.
this age, like everything is on the phone, AI, all that
Mm.
things, we are losing connection with people. We are losing connection with faith. We are losing connection with everything, and we're becoming very self-centered.
Mm.
So to get through and fix anything, you sometimes need to step out of yourself, because you are not the center of the universe. And you must be like, how can I serve someone else? How can I make a difference in someone else's life? And then you're not going to feel like the whole world is against you.
Mm.
No, that's
Serve.
cool.
Serve. That's the
So
big
it
word.
is, because if I'm happy, you're going to be happy with me, and you'll share that happiness with the next one. And so I said happiness, without penis.
Happy
You just said
penis.
Happy penis. I
Isn't
wanted
that
to
a,
say-
that's a TikTok
That
with
is
the,
it.
with the
No,
kid
it's,
who can't.
that's just
Yes,
Jose's lingo.
the
No,
little
no, there's the little
happy
kid who can't
penis.
say
Yeah.
happiness, so
Mm.
she's like happy
Happy
penis.
penis.
He grew up, he became Josie Snook.
But I'm
Okay.
yes, here I am. I'm a happy penis that you could actually join us and just share a little bit of insight on who the real Sami Hall is. So what is your real name? Sami?
Samantha Hall.
Samantha, yeah. Close,
Stop
close,
it.
close. Listen, so where can people get hold of you? How can they get your book? Tell me all this stuff.
So on TikTok, Facebook, it's Sami Hall Says. Sami, Sami, Kuliki, Hall Says. And on Instagram, it's just Sami Hall. My email address is info@samihallsays.com. If you DM me, I'm probably not going to see it, not because I think I'm fancy or too good to reply you, but because that inbox is full of gentlemen sausages.
Wow. Can I slip in there? I want to slip into that.
Gentlemen
I can,
sausage.
you know what I can do? I can filter for you and
Okay.
then send you the good ones.
Okay, great. That would be
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
And
I
we're
will
gonna
tell
have to
you.
do-
I
for
will
the
tell you
team.
another story sometime.
No, you can't say that.
I'm going to say this very quickly. No, I'm just going to say it. So when I was single, I used to be on dating apps, and then for some reason, people think they can send sausages just for some. And so I took it upon myself to rate it out of 10 every time, and it was never like past the 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then people left me alone. So I think you should just rate them.
No, what the good thing is to do is to tell them, you know, it's illegal to send uh,
Nude images.
nude images of young people, to try and tell them that it's very
It's small.
It's very small.
I love that.
That is cool. I love that.
I thought you were underage. I'm going to report you.
Back to you. So where can people get your book?
Yeah.
You can pop me an email. I'm still busy to redo my website and get all of that up and running. So then it's going to be there. Or you can go to a bookstore, and if they don't have it, tell
can
them,
just
why don't you have it?
Yes.
But you can order it through
And contact.
bookshops, hey?
And just contact you as well if they want it.
You can.
And
And take a lot.
So obviously you are traveling a lot this year. You're going overseas.
Going to London.
London. So
You're going to speak your delicious foreign language.
delicious English.
Yeah.
Hello, England. I'm so excited, but I'm very nervous.
No, you are going to nail it like you do everything in your life.
I get nervous before every show. Before every show, I'm like, why am I doing this? I can't
If
do
you're not,
this.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes I think the level of nerves, like I'm like so nervous.
Gosh.
But once I'm on stage, then I'm like, oh, I
You're
meant to
born
do
for
this.
this.
This is
Yes.
fun. But in terms of the England trip, I'm afraid of flying.
Mm.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
of the ocean. I'm afraid of being trafficked. I'm afraid that someone's going to put drugs in my bag.
Wow.
I'm very like,
In your head about it.
So in your
Every
head, you are
single-
the lead actress in Taken.
In Taken.
yes.
Okay.
Why not? Now I think of everything that might go wrong,
Mm.
Okay.
and then I'm like, oh,
No.
yeah.
You will be good. And
Thank
we
you.
can't wait to see you again on one of our episodes. I
No.
think it'll be phenomenal. From our side, thank you. It was such an honor to
Yeah,
have you as
such
our
honor.
first guest.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
And you know, we are big fans.
I'm
We
totally.
are big fans. Not of Sami, just the personality, but just
Yeah.
of you as a person.
Thank you. I appreciate
You inspire all of us. I cried a million times in your book. I can relate to you. And I think you're just a fucking awesome person.
that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now I feel good about myself. I got
You always feel good about yourself. Thanks everyone for joining, for watching, and for listening. And remember to own the fame, to learn from the fuck ups, and to
Keep fixing it.
keep on fixing. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.